So tell me what happened with Mr. Luciano, said Ralph, the claims manager for the Hushbut Insurance Company. Ralph was talking to Sonia, the manager of the Red Dog family restaurant, about a guest who had fallen at the Red Dog and had sprained her ankle. Hushbut Insurance was the restaurant's liability insurance. Well, said Sonia, it was last Friday night. We were only busy when a customer came up to me and said the sink had overflowed in the ladies' restaurant. I checked my watch and it was almost exactly 7 p.m. I immediately told Sonia our boss to go check it out while I went to help ring some guests in the long line at the register. Okay, said Ralph. What happened next? Well, Tommy came back and told me the water was all over the floor. I instructed him to get him up and clean it up, said Sonia. When I talked to Tommy, he said it took him about 10 minutes to find the mop. Rinse it out, grab the mop bucket, and head to the ladies' room. Does that sound about right? Asked Ralph. Yeah, that sounds about right, said Sonia. When he went back to the ladies' room, he told me he found Mrs. Luciano lying on the floor. She had slipped, fallen, and wasn't able to get up. I looked at my watch and it was about 7:10. Mrs. Luciano must have fallen between the time Tommy saw the water on the floor and the time he got back with the mop bucket. In his report, do you think Ralph will state that Tommy was partially responsible for the accident? Do you think Ralph will report that Sonia was partially responsible? Assume you are the restaurant's owner. What would you want the managers of your operation to do to prevent such incidents in the future? I feel like Sonia was responsible, to be honest. Tommy was doing his best. Okay, the importance of a customer service plan. Chapter 1 defined planning as the function of management that identifies goals and the strategies used to achieve the goals. Planning is the first step in the effective management of any process. That includes the process of providing high quality customer service, just as they plan for food production, marketing efforts, and the management of the operation finances. Managers should create a customer service plan. A customer service plan is the well thought out and systematic identification and recording of exactly what must be done to provide high quality customer service. Managers create customer service plans designed to create key service related questions. What will be the product related service standards in operation? What will be the employee related service standards in operation? What will be the facility related service standards in operations? What will be the safety and security related service standards in the operation? How will we implement our service standards? How will we staff to achieve our service standards? How will we monitor our success in achieving our service standards? Customer service planning is an ongoing process. It consists of establishing standards of service and the methods of ensuring those standards are met. If an operation does not establish standards, there will be no way to compare what actually happens with what the manager wants to happen. For example, assume it takes the first casual operation 4 minutes to serve the average guest. Is that good or bad? This question cannot be answered unless the manager knows the goal was 5 minutes. With this knowledge, the manager will likely be very pleased. If the goal had been 3 minutes, the manager will likely not be pleased. Success quality service planners define desired results. Then they take the steps needed to ensure that the results are achieved. There are specific reasons why managers develop plans that focus on service-related standards. See Chapter 1. Think about it. Some managers think long-range service quality planning is a good idea, but they do not have time to do it because they are dealing with current service-related problems. What advice would you give these managers? Okay, let me finish in this paragraph. There are specific reasons why managers develop plans that focus on service-related standards. Standards provide direction. They provide a means to determine how much more progress is needed to achieve service goals. They can be assigned to specific departments, teams, or employees. They can clarify employees' roles and responsibilities. They can be used to motivate and challenge employees, and they can help ensure business long-term profitability. Developing developing and implementing service standards. While there are a variety of planning approaches that could be used to develop quality service standards and plans, one good way to do so is to consider desired service standards in several key operational areas. Product-related standards, product-related standards, employee-related standards, facility-related standards, and safety and security-related standards. Some managers make a distinction between the products they serve and how those products are served. The best managers understand that, in the eyes of the guest, product quality and service quality are directly related. For example, assume an establishment is famous for the quality of its French fries. When the fries leave the kitchen, they are hot, crispy, and flavorful. Assume further, however, the service served does not regularly provide guests with ketchup to accompany the fries. When oh, when guests do ask for ketchup, they inevitably have to wait a long time to get it, and when they do, the portions they are served are very small and insufficient for most guests. In this example, many guests would not likely leave the establishment with a favorable impression of its French fries. As a result, managers who develop customer service plans must assess each menu item they sell and establish product-related standards of service related to key service areas. Serving size. In some cases, some service staff may be responsible for the amount of a menu item received by guests. Common examples include glasses of milk, soup, salads, bread, and rolls with butter patties, and ice cream. In each of these examples and more, managers must establish the precise amount of a menu item to be served and then communicate that information to service staff. Managers plan in this area. Managers' plans in this area must also include ensuring service staff have the proper portioning tools and proper size serving dishes to make this important part of the server's job easier to complete. Serving temperature. Just as some service staff may be responsible for the amount served to guests, they may also have an influence over the temperature at which menu items are served. When menu items are prepared but remain in the server pickup area, hot food items can get cold and cold items can become warmer than they should be. Managers must establish appropriate service temperatures for all menu items. They must also ensure that servers are well trained to deliver prepared items to guests at each menu item's optimal temperature. Think about it. Some managers consistently understaff the number of servers needed during busy times. What are some specific examples of what could happen to hurt product-related standards in an operation when managers use this practice? Appropriate garnish. Experienced managers know that guests eat with their eyes before they actually taste their food or beverage selection. As a result, how menu items are garnished and visually presented is of great importance. In many cases, it is the server's responsibility to add appropriate item garnishes. As a result, the product-related portion of a manager's service plan should include details on how each menu item is to be garnished. It should also note who is responsible for ensuring the service of only properly garnished items to guests. Appropriate menu item condiments. In many cases, servers bring condiments to a guest tables. Condiments are edible items that enhance the flavor of food. For some guests, the quality and variety of an operation's condiments are nearly as important as the quality of the menu items they are used to enhance. Explanation mark. Uh, Exhibit 3.2 lists two of the most commonly provided restaurant and food service condiments, which are salt, pepper, ketchup, mustard, sugar, cream, pepper sauce, steak sauce, relish, vinegar, olive oil, and syrup. Appropriate menu items accompaniment. In some cases, a guest order of one menu item will most often automatically require the delivery of an appropriate accompanying item, as shown in Exhibit 3.3. Menu items and their accompanying items: tortilla chips with salsa, baked potatoes with butter or sour cream, pasta grated with grated cheese, salad with dressing, iced tea with a lemon slice or wedge, and fried fish with tartar sauce. In many cases, servers are responsible for the delivery of these accompanying items. As a result, a manager's product related service plan should directly address which accompanying item will be provided with which item selections. Managers also communicate to servers how much of each accompaniment will be provided to guests without an additional charge. In some cases, such as lemon wedges for iced tea, the number of quantity of condiments provided to guests may be virtually unlimited, within reason. In some other cases, such as expensive dressing for salads or sauces for entrees, an operation may charge guests when the guest requests more of an accompanying item than is normally provided to them. In cases such as this, it is essential that an operation service know and then inform guests of any extra charges, uh, extra charges that will be made for the requested items. This should always be done before the requested items are delivered to the guests. Appropriate service accompaniment. In some cases, a guest's order of menu items will necessitate the delivery of a special utensil or other service-related accompaniment. See Exhibit 3.4, just like soup with a soup spoon, hot tea with a teapot, crab legs with a crab claw breaker, steak with a steak knife, white wine with an ice bucket or chiller. Managers creating a complete product-related service plan must ensure service staff know about and have readily available to them all needed service-related menu item accompaniment. Managers should, of course, ensure that their production staff always follow standardized recipes when preparing menu items. Standardized recipes are the set of instructions to produce and serve a food or beverage item that will help ensure that the quality and quantity standards will be consistently met. Managers must ensure menu items are served in a standardized manner as well. For example, if a fried vegetable appetizer plate is to be accompanied by two kinds of dipping sauces, the types of sauces provided and the proper amount of them should be provided by the server each time the appetizer is ordered and presented to guests. When developing product related service plans, managers can seek input from other managers, employees, and customers. Each of these groups can provide valuable input about an operations menu items and how they can be best prepared and served. Think about it. Have you ever ordered an item that was tasty but you did not enjoy because you did not receive a needed condiment, item accompaniment, or proper eating utensil? What did you do? Employee related standards. Just as an operation products must be assessed to establish service related standards, so too must managers develop service standards related to employees. When managers develop employee related service standards, they must do four important things: determine desired service standards, develop service standard expectations, develop service standard training materials, and train staff. Determine desired service standards. When establishing desired service standards delivered to employees, managers must ask important questions. What are our company goals and objectives? What are our company service standards? What service standards are important in the operation? Jesus. No. There's 12 pages left. It's not that long. What are customer expectations? What are my personal expectations? What are my staff abilities? Managers establishing service standards may focus their attention on different operational areas depending on the type of operation managed. However, all managers share some concerns. How should guests be greeted upon pre-arrival when making reservations or upon arrival? How should guest orders be taken? How should guests be treated while in the operation or in its drive-through areas? How will guest payments be processed? Each of these areas should be addressed properly. Otherwise, the result can be confusion among staff, guest complaints, and reduced operational profitability. Develop service standard expectations. Managers can use the operations mission statement, a written reminder to employees about the purpose and goals of a company, to develop their service standard expectations. Managers also consider their own expectations. For example, assume a fine dining establishment wishes to be known as one that provides the very highest levels of personal service. In this case, managers must consider their personal view of exactly what that means. In some cases, industry standards and norms can be very valuable in helping managers establish uh, uh, in some cases, industry standards or norms can be very valuable in helping managers establish their own operation service standards. If service standards are not specifically identified and documented for future identified and documented for future reference. Now with church as a background, so I guess I'm gonna be louder. Okay, where was I? Okay. If service standards are not carefully identified and documented for future reference, the standards may not be known and followed by all. If that happens, the result can be the misuse of employee time, a waste of resources, and decreased profits. Managers can document their specific service standards related to several periods of time: guest pre-arrival, guest arrival, guest ordering a service, guest payment, and guest departure. Develop service standard training materials. Eh? Develop service standard training materials. Identifying employee-related service standards is important. After completing that task, those standards must be properly communicated to the appropriate employees. To do that, managers must consider and acquire the employee training tools that they will need. As they do so, managers must ask key questions. What are the training abilities and characteristics of my staff? What types of training will be most effective? How detailed should the training materials be? What methods of information delivery should be used? How can employee interest be maintained? The training of trained staff. The training of new service staff is a critical management task. This is because effective employee training is key to providing excellent guest service. Managers may use a variety of approaches and materials when delivering effective training sessions. Possible training styles include one-on-one training, small group training, and large group or all staff training. Depending on the situation, managers may choose to use training aids, such as handouts, videos, and role-playing activities. There are additional areas of training-related concern that managers must address. When will the training occur? How long should the training last? When will the training occur? Who will conduct the training? How will the training learning be assessed? How often should the training session be repeated? In all cases, the information provided to employees during training should be clear, concise, and accurate. If not, the result can be a lack of understanding by employees and a long-term inability to meet the operation desired service standards. Facility-related standards. An operation's physical facilities affect guest perceptions of service quality. Facilities include the grounds, building, equipment, and furnishing that combine to make an operation's physical environment. Facilities and some non-facility related characteristics such as employee uniforms and style of meal service, see Chapter 6, all combined to form an operation's ambience. Ambience is the atmosphere or mood that a particular environment creates. A variety of facility-related factors directly influence a restaurant or food service operation ambience.
Thank you, Sister Regina. Thank you. nĩ ũndũ wa rwĩmbo rũu. Rwĩmbo rũu nĩ rũheaga mũndũ hope. It is encouraging atĩ wakoragwo ũkĩmenya rĩrĩa wĩna Ngai ona ũngĩgwa no nĩ arĩkuoyaga rĩngĩ. Ihinda rĩrĩ ngũthiĩ gũkaribisha we wĩ hau wĩna ũira gũkaribishwo andũ erĩ tu. Ũguo akorwo wĩna ithuothe tũrĩ ekĩrĩte.
Okay. Operations, food service operation, ambience. A variety of facility-related factors directly influence a restaurant or food service operation ambience. Design, decor, lighting, sound, and temperature. In most cases, the design and decor of an operations building cannot be easily changed or modified by managers. This is because improving this may require the significant expenditure of funds which may be approved by the operations owner. Managers do, however, have direct control over lighting levels, sound, and temperature. These three critical facility-related factors affect an operations ambience, and as a result, directly affect guest perception of service. It's fine. Lighting levels are one of the biggest contributors to the ambience of an operation. The lighting in a restaurant or food service operation affects guest comfort and worker efficiency, as well as guest and worker safety and security. When lighting levels are too low, guests may have difficulty reading menus. Guest and employee safety may also be threatened due to possible trips and falls. When lighting levels are too high, guests may become uncomfortable due to the harshness of the lighting levels. In addition, the operations energy costs may be higher than they need to be. Lighting is also referred to as illumination, and light levels are measured in foot candles. Generally, the greater the number of foot candles present, the greater the level of illumination. Restaurant and food service operation often require varying degrees of illumination in different locations. Therefore, managers may be responsible for ensuring the lighting levels are appropriate to the needs of different areas. To maintain proper lighting levels, managers ensure that specific activities are undertaken. Establishing and enforce appropriate lighting levels for each area of the operation. Keep lighting fixtures in good repair. Examine light bulbs and lighting fixtures daily and replace as needed. Clean light bulbs and fixtures after being turned off on a regularly scheduled basis. What's the footprint? In many restaurant and food service operations, artificial light is produced to supplement natural sunlight. Because it is free, sunlight is a cost-effective source of lighting. When it is used to its maximum effect, it can have a very positive impact on utility costs by limiting the amount of artificial light that must be produced. The result is low operation cost, increased profits, and a lessened impact on the natural resources used to create the energy that powers the artificial lighting. In very sunny climates, letting in too much sunlight may increase an operation's air conditioning cost. But in colder climates, it can decrease heating costs. In nearly all cases, however, when natural lighting can be used cost-effectively in a restaurant or food service operation, everybody wins. Sound. Some sounds in the restaurant or food service operations including background music, are introduced and directly controlled by a manager. Sound also includes noise from the conversation of guests and employees, as well as normal noises made in the operation of a food facility. In all cases, however, managers must seek to maintain sound levels appropriate for their operations. Different customers have different expectations of the sound levels preferred when they eat out. Some like relaxing and watching and soothing sounds, while others prefer sounds that project a higher energy level. As a result, a sports bar may determine that the sounds of many televisions and loud customer conversation make it attractive to guests. Similarly, a high energy after work spot may also encourage a higher level of sound. A fine dining operation, however, will likely have customers that seek a sophisticated or romantic atmosphere. As a result, managers of these establishments will want to keep the sound levels low enough for quiet conversations. Sound is measured in decibels. The higher the decibel level of both wanted and unwanted sounds, the higher the volume level. While managers do not routinely have a way to measure the changing decibels of their operations, there are specific steps they can take to ensure sound levels in their operations are appropriate. Establish appropriate volume level standards for overhead music, radio or television sets during slow and busy serving periods. Strictly enforce the standards. Request staff to speak in clearly audible but quiet voices or communicate with other employees or guests. Require staff to wear soft rubber soles to reduce footstep noise and protect from slip and fall injuries. Use window treatments such as blinds, valances, and curtains. These window treatments can absorb sound. Ensure the proper location of machines that have constant noises.
Thank you.
Gotta go live on Facebook real quick.
Naramata oteta turamarikana memishine memorereine abari ni kuna mundu ali metani tumatoa maria hata itumalia shia limekula sister selezia togai
sound. Oh, okay. Okay, this is how you whatever, bro. There are specific steps they can take to ensure sound levels in the operations are appropriate. Establish appropriate volume level standards for overhead music, radios, or television sets during slow and busy serving periods. I just read all that. Oh, the last one of those was ensure the proper location of machines that have constant noises, such as an ice machine and machine with condensers that cycle on and off. Temperature. Temperatures in a dining room are critical aspects of a guest dining experience. Room temperatures that are too warm or too cold can seriously distract from the enjoyment of a meal. The temperature in a restaurant or food service program is controlled by its HVAC system. HVAC is an industry flip. HVAC is an industry term for an operations heating, ventilating, and air conditioning system. Heating, ventilation, and air conditioning are considered together because each use the operations air treatment, thermostats, duct, and air handling system. Air treatments can involve
welcome, my pastor.
Oh my god. Air treatment can involve either the heating or cooling system. Thermostats control air temperature in rooms. Ducts are the passageways, usually built of sheet metal that allow fresh, cold, or warm air to be directed to different parts of a building. Air handling systems are the fans and mechanical systems used to move treated air through ducts and expel it into rooms through heating and cooling vents. A properly operating HVAC system delivers treated air to rooms at a pre-established temperature determined by the manager. The efficiency of an HVAC system and the comfort of a building are affected by several factors. The temperature of the air delivered to the room, the original temperature of the room, the relative humidity or amount of moisture, of the air delivered through the room, the air movement in the room, the temperature absorbing surfaces in the room, and the number of people in the room. It is a manager's job to establish the desired temperatures for all areas within an operation. Then, the manager trains employees to help ensure those temperatures are maintained. There are several things an employee can do that directly affect a room's temperature, such as opening or closing doors or windows, and adjusting thermostats. It is the manager's job to ensure guests are always comfortable in dining areas, regardless of the time of day, time of year, or the number of guests being served. Unlike some other areas, facility-related service standards in restaurants and food service operations can vary widely. A music level that is too loud in one operation may be just right for another. Similarly, a low lighting level may fit the ambience of one operation but be wrong for a different operation. The ambience of an operation must appeal to the guests it seeks to attract. As a result, managers must consider a variety of factors when they develop facility-related service standards. What do customers prefer? What is appropriate for the facility? What are industry standards? What are applicable governmental laws or codes? What is the competition doing? What will support the operations mission statement? What do employees think? What's the footprint? HVAC systems can be very straightforward or very complex, but all consists of components responsible for heating, venting, or cooling a building, and all require regular attention to operate most efficiently. Managers can make their HVAC systems more efficient, save on energy costs, and help conserve natural resources when they implement effective preventative maintenance programs for their HVAC systems. These programs include regular inspections and cleaning of motors, belts, gaskets, and filters, all HVAC components that would directly affect the system's efficiency and energy consumption. Because when they are in good repair, the systems operate more efficiently. Ew.
No mwathani akimwira atiri wethi amu mundu ucio niwe thurite andu gake atume ritwa riakwa rimenyeke kuri andu a nduriri na thamaki na Israeli.
After considering each important factor, managers take specific steps to ensure facility-related standards are developed. Determine what type of ambience is appropriate for the facility. Develop specific standards partially based on customer input. Train applicable employees on ambience standards. Implement the standards. Ensure that standards are met. Restaurant technology. Increasingly, operations use computerized energy control systems to manage energy use in public spaces. These spaces include restaurant and food service dining rooms. These systems can monitor and control energy usage automatically by adjusting thermostat settings to reflect changes in outside air temperatures and the number of people eating in a dining room. Manufacturers of such systems point to reduced operating costs and improved guest comfort as advantages of their products. Managers benefit directly because the key area of temperature control is addressed as a continual and highly controlled basis. Safety and security related standards. All managers are concerned about the safety of their guests and employees. Managers also have security concerns. Safety is related to the protection of an individual's physical well-being and health. Security involves the protection of a guest and employees or an operations property. Safety and security are important service-related issues. Guests and employees have a legal right to expect managers to protect their health, well-being, and property to the greatest degree possible. The laws related to protecting guests and employees, however, do not mean the managers will be held responsible for everything that can happen in an operation. For example, a guest may slip and fall on a sidewalk leading up to the operation. The operation would only be held possible if it could be determined that the operation did not exercise reasonable care in the maintenance of its sidewalks. Reasonable care is a legal concept that identifies the amount of care a reasonably prudent person would exercise in a specific situation. The legal standard of reasonable care means that managers must operate their businesses with a degree of care equal to that of other reasonable managers. A concern for guest and employee safety and property security and the use of reasonable care is an important part of every manager's job. In fact, the emphasis placed on safety and security by a manager is a good indicator of the manager's professionalism and commitment to high-quality guest service. Managers developing safety and security-related service standards consider the 4 key areas: personal safety, public health concerns, facility safety, and security. Wow. This chapter will never end. Okay. Keeping it safe. A safety audit is a systematic examination of any area in an operation that could pose a threat to guest or employee safety. The areas to be inspected during an audit include a variety of locations: building exterior, sidewalks and entrances, parking lot, lighting and signage, back of the house, flooring and lighting and equipment. Oh my god. I've got a COVID booster. I'm starting to believe, Mom, that with 5G injection into my body, shit is taking me out. Front of house, back of house, restrooms, fire and life safety. In a safety audit, needed repairs and maintenance should be noted as well as target dates for their completion. We go to chapter 64, bro. Can I do it? Do you think I can do it? Bro. I'll finish it tomorrow. To provide truly excellent service, employees must know what to do if guests or another employee's safety is threatened. The personal safety of guests and employees can be threatened for several reasons: a medical crisis, fire, power outage, severely inclement weather, natural disasters, or robbery. To address issues of this type, managers prepare written emergency plans. Emergency plans identify a threat to the safety. I can't read this anymore, my god. Love you.